Planetary meet. Today we are going to learn how to make star talismans. You can download your own free booklet, How to Make Star Talismans, by following the link in the video description. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. The planetary stars are simple geometric shapes based on the number corresponding to each planet, determined by their placement on the Hermetic Tree of Life. Star talismans might seem daunting at first glance, but they're actually a lot easier than they look. To get started, you will gather your supplies. You'll need some paper, a ruler, a compass, a protractor, and a pencil. Now, for added color correspondences, you might want some colored pencils, crayons, pens, or paints. You also may want to add a fragrance sacred to the energy that you are working with. You can also incorporate candle magic with your star talismans. The first step is to find the planetary number. You must determine which planet rules the purpose of your talisman. You can look up the planetary correspondences in my free booklet. Once you've decided which planet rules your desire, find the number associated with the planet. Those associations are also in the free booklet. Today we are going to be making a Venus star talisman, so we'll work with the number 7 today. The next step is going to be drawing our circle. We start with a square sheet of paper. If you have a letter-sized piece of paper, turn it into a square by cutting it down. Once you have a square sheet of paper, find the center and mark a small dot. Then determine the circle size based on either the planetary number or its harmonic. Like I said, we are using a 7-inch circle today. Use your compass to draw the circle of the desired size. Optionally, draw another larger circle outside of the first one. We will use the space between these two circles to write divine names, psalm verses, angelic names, or any other added symbols that we want. The next step is to find the magic number. Each star's magic number is found by dividing 360 by the number of star points. For our example, Venus is number 7. It is a 7-pointed star. Therefore, I divide 360 by 7, and I get 51.4285. So we just round that down to 51 degrees. So our magic number for Venus is 51. The booklet provides each of the magic numbers, so you don't have to make the calculations if you don't want to. Our next step is to draw the star. Now that we know our magic number, for Venus it's 51, we start by placing our protractor on the page. We align the protractor's center with the dot in the center of our circle, and we ensure that the 0-degree mark of the protractor points to where we want our top star point. Then we make a small mark at that 0-degree point. We make a small mark then at every 51 degrees around the circle, and we rotate the protractor as needed. We always ensure that the protractor's center stays aligned with that center dot. Since most protractors are half circles, you'll need to rotate the protractor. So once you run out of room, you realign the 0-degree mark with the last dot you made, and then find the next 51-degree mark, and then the next until you have all 7 dots on the page, each spaced 51 degrees apart. Once the 7 dots are marked on our page, we're done with the protractor. Next, we extend each of those dots out to the edge of the circle we drew. Use a ruler to connect the center dot to each point that we just made, and extend that line out to the circle's edge and make a mark there. Once we've done that with each of the 7 points, we're ready to draw the star. To draw the star, we use our ruler to connect 2 points. We draw a straight line between them and continue connecting points around the circle until the star is complete. There are example stars in the booklet to ensure that you understand what the stars are supposed to look like. Now we will fill in the center circle. We'll write our name in the center and then 3 words describing the talisman's purpose. The first word should always be peace. The second word should always be the planet's quality of spirit, and the third word should describe your specific intent. The different qualities of spirit for each planet are in the booklet. In our example, Venus has the spirit quality of love. For our purpose today, I'm choosing the word beauty. At this point, your talisman is technically complete. However, many of us like to take things further by adding more symbols and working with color magic, candle magic, and perfumes. Therefore, I'm going to draw some planetary and zodiacal symbols. After I've finished writing those in, I'm choosing to write the god name that rules the sphere of Venus in the circle, and all of those god names are included in the booklet. This one is Yud-He-Vav-He Sabaoth. I'm going to write this in English, but you could use a magical script or Hebrew if you prefer. After those, I'm going to start adding some color. You can use crayons, paints, or colored pencils to add planetary colors. I'm using colored pencils. You can refer to my free course on color magic to learn how to create color harmonies. I'm using the planetary color as my base color, which is a teal color, and then I'm creating color harmonies to create a color statement. Once I've finished coloring my talisman, then I want to charge it. First thing I like to do is to scent my talisman with a perfume sacred to the planet I'm using. Since I'm working with Venus, I'm going to use rose for my perfume, but there is a large variety of other options. You can charge your talisman even further by burning a white candle or a color of candle corresponding to your planet. Allow the candle to burn down and out by itself. If you are using an LED candle, allow it to stay turned on for a minimum of 1 hour. Once the candle has burned down and out, you'll want to store your talisman facing upward with nothing sitting directly on top of it. Keep your talisman away from prying eyes. You can put it in a drawer or a cabinet, or I like to put it on top of a tall bookcase where most people aren't going to be looking. Once you've achieved your goal, you can deactivate your talisman by tearing it into pieces and throwing it away. As a general rule of thumb, I like to keep a talisman until the following new moon and then rip it up and throw it away. Understand that talismans act as communication devices between your surface and deep minds, helping you to access angelic planetary energies. You can incorporate additional symbols and practices as you grow more comfortable with the practice. You can use gems, flowers, magical scripts, and other artistic techniques like glitter pens, alcohol markers, and watercolors as you are so inclined. Remember to construct your star talisman on the day that is sacred to the planet that you are working with. Also, you want to construct a star talisman during the appropriate moon phase for your goals. All of this information is included in the free booklet. Keep the number of active talismans to 3 or fewer at any one time to avoid diluting their effects. Deactivate an old talisman before activating a new one in order to avoid having more than 3 active talismans at any one time. For more in-depth information, check out my free booklet, How to Make Star Talismans, by following the link in the video description. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, blessed be.